Hi, welcome to Me Next Level Mentoring Podcast, Cultivating, Improving, and Development. Periodically, I'm going to be releasing different podcasts on different topics of discussion, basically um, confronting things head on that plague us in our society, our homes, our marriages, our ministries, our lives individually. Uh, so, I wanted to speak about depression in this podcast, just briefly bringing up some things that needs to be discussed. So, um, depression is on the horizon because it's causing people to have suicidal thoughts, and there's people carrying out the thoughts of suicide and taking their lives premature. And what I have defined depression as being is the residue, um, a demonic assignment with demonic activity, which is the residue to unresolved issues. So depression is um, a demonic spirit that I can say that brings about feelings of despair. Um, Depression attacks you in loneliness. Depression uh, attacks you when you have a chemical imbalance. And I found out and discovered that depression hides behind smiles. A lot of times we show up that we're joyful and we're happy and that nothing is wrong, but inside we're dying slowly, or inside we're fainting because of our adversities or circumstances or things that we have suffered in our lives. So I feel that having this conversation with you, for the listeners, should be able to get you to start thinking. And that's so important for us to start thinking and not overthinking analytically, but to think about the things that we're suffering in our lives and have suffered in our lives that ushers in the depression that a lot of us that may experience this unwanted. So when you are depressed, it's things that we think about. We give up on life. We have no desire to stand against all odds. We faint. We just don't want to have an extra fight for our future looking bit brighter from things that we have experienced in our life that make us feel like we're so depressed and we're oppressed. Depression dictates to you that there's nothing happening in your life. There's nothing to you. There's nothing that ever would be to you. You're never going to get married. You're never going to have children. You're never going to know what joy and happiness can look like for your life. You're never going to excel in entrepreneurship and business. Everything is going to always be hard. There's never going to be a way of escape provided for me. Depression speaks all things that suggests defeat to you, but you have to be that individual that understand that counterattack is very, very, very important. That when you have a negative thought, that you have to immediately come behind the negative thought with something positive, and you have to speak to yourself, speak over yourself, have that conversations with yourself, have conversations with your loved ones that you seem to be uncomfortable with. We need to find that person that could be a wind in our back, a pastor, a teacher, your best friend. And don't be afraid to be transparent, to show people that there is a weakness in you, or there's something that maybe you're battling and you just need someone's comfort, love, words of inspiration, words of life and light to bring you to a point where you can know that an escape can be provided for you, and you can know that wholeness is something that God holds back from no man when they desires that. But we got to put in the work. We have to put in the work whenever it is we're going up against things like this. Now, demonic assignments against our lives. Um, um, we have to expose Satan. We have to expose the adversary. And we have to fall out of agreement with feeling oppressed or feeling depressed by making sure that we allow or let that adversary know that I know that you're trying to suppress my life continuously by being depressed over matters that I know that can change in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye. I'm saying this to you all because I'm speaking out loud. Uh, we have to have positive thinking, positive associations, positive environments. You have to change your environment because a lot of times we pick up transference of spirits from other people and we be feeling a certain type of way and it really isn't us. It's some other people bringing upon their dead works or their oppressions and depressions and things that they're dealing with in their lives, and you find yourself being a partaker and enslaved to that spirit. And then you have another battle to face where you got to fight with getting the deliverance you need, fighting vigorously. We are a product of our environment, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to get away from toxic relationships. Don't be afraid to be transparent. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Get the necessary help that you need, that you will be able to know that living your life freed in your mental capacity, in your heart, and in your life is made available for you. But how bad do you want to be freed up from depression? How bad do you not want to know what it feels like to have that escape provided for you? How bad do you want to know what total deliverance can look like for your life by merely making a powerful decision that I'm going to get the help that I need to be delivered totally from depression? Yes, it's possible. Your deliverance is just a conversation away from you being whole. Until next time in the podcast, and we want to have different conversations. You be blessed.